PKA 642. Guests had trouble. No guests tonight, just the boys.
I'm not into artistic things that involves paint. No, I don't want to own little man toys, though. I think that's the main thing. I'm into lots of nerdy shit, but it's all digital for the most part. There's no evidence if you walked into my home of how nerdy I am. It's all on the computer. It's like child porn. There's no dead kids laying around. There's not a little girl tied up in the bed. It's all on the piece of shit computer.
Is like a gay man who has never had sex with another man, but he's still gay. He knows what he wants. He knows what he likes. He's just faking.
The brawny man for the paper towel since a kid.
Right?
All Kyle's nerdness is hidden in a folder called Kyle 2017 Taxes.
His figurine love and pushes it deep down. Kyle doesn't want anyone to know the true him, that he's a figuriner. But
it's not just that. That's like another level of nerdiness. It really is.
He's a figure.
I'm a figure.
He's a figure, and he doesn't want anyone to know.
I think figging is a thing, and it's disgusting that men do.
What is figging?
I don't know, but I'm sure that it's a disgusting thing that men do.
It's a guy who's into
Zach, tell me what figging means, because I bet it means like, I don't know, like putting your balls up your asshole or something. It's something awful.
There's gonna be some stupid sentence on Urban Dictionary, like, yeah, he was talking shit, and so I figged him.
But
Kyle's a closet figure, and he just doesn't want people to know.
I might be.
He's as nerdy as nerdy comes.
But here's, I thought if I exposed myself to some figging, and see how I feel, and then masturbate, and then I would know for sure if I was a figure. And man, I went to a YouTube channel where they fig, and they had like this table in this guy's garage where he had all that, that green styrofoam that you sort of shape with a saw to make a landscape.
My mother had a lot of that.
This guy has a lot of that. Your mother had a little bit. This guy,
basically no amount at all.
Your mother would be blown away if she saw the amount this man has. Trust me. And he's made this. It reminded me of those grown men with model trains, but less cool because trains are real. Conductors are real.
Dude, there's
that hat he's wearing. A professional wears that somewhere.
You know what?
Meanwhile,
I'm sorry. Let me.
You got your Dark Angels and your fucking Bloodborne Space Marines or whatever the fuck. And it's, come on, man. You hand painted all that shit. How much does all this cost? You could have bought a car. How much did all this cost? Each piece is a fucking $800 thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys haven't been to stores where they sell these, like if you go to stores where because I have a ton of nerdy shit around my house. People know, like when you come in to like a game store, there's Magic cards and board games and everything, and then usually behind the counter there's like some Warhammer figurines. And even if it's not a Warhammer specific shop, they'll have like a big one. And so like if you want to get like Kugath or a legendary lord, like a big figurine, that's hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And if you want to get Kugath's right-hand lieutenant, that guy's going to cost you a couple $100. Like, and so these people you see with like the big,
they're gray.
Yeah, they're gray. Most like I saw a couple you could buy painted, which seems like it kind of defeats the purpose of the hobby for the people who are into it. Or maybe some people are really into just collecting and not the painting. I don't know, but this is not something I will get into. Like Magic is nerdy enough, and Magic like it's cards.
$1,000 an army.
It doesn't take a ton.
Like if you were frugal, it would cost you about $1,000 an army. I think someone told me they're probably a little.
And it would be the Magic the Gathering problem again, or any kind of pay-to-win game where you go into the store and you're happy with your army that you spent $1,100 on over the course of a couple of years, and then Joe Neighbor comes in and he's got an army that you're suddenly like, oh damn, like. I thought my fucking my Space Marine army was so cool, but that Orc army is like, that's so. Maybe I can dabble it. Maybe I can start, just one figurine, just one, like, and then that's how it gets you.
Yeah,
just one more tech, just one more.
And I don't like hobbies that take up space. As much as I think Woody's former woodworking hobby is a great one because it's
space intensive.
It is space intensive. It's one of the most space intensive. You need a horse to get any worse, right? Like fucking stables.
You're totally right. The thing, what woodworkers sometimes do is they pack it too tight. I think actually strength training does that too. And then when you have to move shit to use shit, now your shop sucks. And I would argue that about a lot of gyms too. Like if you have to like get the cars out of the garage and take everything off the walls to start working out,
you don't have a gym.
I'm not into your gym.
Yeah.
But yes, woodworking, you can't pack it too tight because you got to deal with like sheets of plywood and 16-foot long boards and shit like that.
I don't like hobbies that take up space like that.
I'm on the other side. What if, hear me out on the coolness scale, what if I converted the Game of Thrones room to the train room? Right? This is a
you
big
wouldn't
room.
tell us.
It's like 30 feet by 60 feet. I don't even know how big this room is, but it's really big. And you could have a cool train.
You should do it. That's cooler than Game of Thrones at this point. No one talks about Game of Thrones. Trains are evergreen. Well, maybe they're not anymore.
Are you legitimately into the trains, or are you just being silly? Maybe a little both.
A little of both, right? I'm a little silly, but there's a part of me that's like, some of this shit's cool, right? And the scale is a decision I think you make early on. As a kid, I don't know what the numbers are, but I had like a 1/256 scale, like, the smallest kind of train. But you make them just a little bit bigger, and they get really neat. And you go a little bit bigger than that. I don't know what this does to the price, but I've seen people sit on their like trains and they can pull humans around.
Damn.
And it's like, this is kind of neat. Like
they run on coal. There's some that you can like shove a little coal in there and make a little. You've got a real steam engine, huh?
I've seen that. I've seen some that look like they run on coal, but low key, there's propane in there or something else. Like
smoke.
You want a coal burning train in your house?
I don't know. I'm
space intensive hobby. Ventilation has been included.
It's just a terrible idea.
This guy
there
is
you
cool.
are.
Look at him with his whistle. That's me. I'm just a few years away from that.
All aboard the Alzheimer Express.
What is the handkerchief for?
That's for my spittle.
I mean, that guy's just having a fun time, blowing on the trains.
Look at that.
Oh, look, there's Senator Fetterman. That's a regular sized train.
That is. And I like the same color as Thomas.
That's a regular train.
That train's neat.
I can tell he's into trains from the hat.
Oh, is that what gave it away?
That's what told me he was into trains.
I can tell he's not all there by the vacant look.
No, that guy's taken every bit of irrelevant information in his life and replaced it with train facts.
I had a coworker that was like that. He was an accountant and was just so into trains. He had dedicated his basement to his train, and he had recreated like the railroad infrastructure in the New Jersey, Pennsylvania area. And like literally, like he took pictures and recreated the graffiti in his basement
really cool.
and stuff like that. He was into it in a super big way.
Well,
we'll joke about this, or maybe I think stuff like this is really
don't go
cool.
that direction.
I think it's a cool little hobby to have. Like,
I
if
was
that's
about
what
to
you're
go the
into,
opposite way.
No, go the opposite way. It's better for us to disagree.
This one
I like when I see people like enjoying.
I don't know why
this not caring.
I don't care what anybody else does, but I'm just saying, if someone was trying to get me into that hobby and they said, Kyle, why won't you join us in training and trainery? I would say it looks like a pathetic old man hobby to hide from your wife, and no one should care that much about outmoded methods of transportation or track-based, steam-powered locomotives. We should really go talk to a therapist together. I'll come if it'll make you feel better. There's something wrong with you. That's what I would say. Because it's ridiculous. Look. You go spend that 40 grand on a fucking like beat up Ferrari and then restore it in your garage. Dude, I'll kiss your ass and tell you how cool your hobby is, because you're gonna.
Why is that cooler than trains?
Because he ends up with a Ferrari at the end. This guy, look at him. You know what I don't see? Anyone around him willing to stand in a picture next to this.
He's absolutely not going to let anyone else take credit for this.
I will say, whatever that is, looks incredible. You can film movies there.
Yeah.
The thing about the Ferrari that gives it the edge over this to me is you can go somewhere outside, right? Like, I would argue that if you bought a beat up Ferrari and then your thing was to bring it back to life and make it like new.
Sure.
That and making a train track with like recreating some area, to me, are really parallel. They're both kind of mechanical. They're both kind of physical. They're both kind of crafty. They're both kind of mechanically intelligent. I don't know if that's a thing. Like, they're a lot in common. But if you take that Ferrari and you so much as get a fucking milkshake 18 miles from here, now we've elevated this hobby to another thing. The wind in your hair, the like real life aspect to it. Whereas this guy can't take this outside his basement.
I just think of remember Sopranos, how Bobby was portrayed for his hobby. That is how I feel about trainery.
Didn't they portray people negatively for oral sex?
You think none of that? You don't think any part of this
Well,
is cool.
the whole point was that was an outmoded ideal that none of them like actually held themselves to. Tony ate pussy. They all ate pussy. And he's like, hey, what goes on in this bedroom stays in this bedroom. She's like, yeah, twice a year. Talking.
Like yeah. Yeah. Wait, but Kyle, you seriously don't think this is cool at all? None of this is kind of cool to you?
Something about
you wouldn't like
says,
to just hang out there.
I wonder what's wrong with I'll be honest, like something about this makes me think there's something wrong with the guy who spends this much time doing this.
This is just Kyle's closet figging denial.
It could be. But the thing about this hobby, I imagine him alone by himself without.
No, you got train buddies and stuff.
I can't. The train buddies show up to look when you're done.
This guy is a group expert in the online train community.
Yeah. This guy.
Yeah, he's a modder on our trainery.
Yeah.
I bet
and he's a power hungry jerk.
Look at that. A fun time for families.
This guy, look how happy he is with that kid, nuts to butts.
Yeah, that guy loves trains.
Yo, Opie, there's not enough room for us.
Guys, hear me out. I have an idea. Let's alternate with children.
Let's all sit on the train and see.
Oh.
They're like doing a weight test. Like
Everyone's
look what's in his hand. He's shoveling coal into that motherfucker.
He is, and that's pretty cool.
Oh, come on, that's neat.
Yeah, you don't think that's neat?
All right, see, this is outdoors. Then it becomes something kind of neat. What's weird isn't that you own a model train. It's when they build that big place that, in their garage, and the whole room has become the train room forever. And when he dies, their family just smashes it to smithereens.
Zach, can you go back a picture?
I would tell that guy, I'd be like, when you die, they're gonna smash the fucking Grand Central Station you got. They're gonna take old Ben, the locomotive, and throw it out into a dumpster. They're gonna sell everything to the highest bidder on eBay. And guess what? That's me. And you know what I'm gonna do?
I'm gonna become the.
I'm saying this in his hospital bed.
I hate trains. I hate trains. I hate trains. Just
you know what I hate more than trains? People who like trains.
I hate every kind of train that I can't collect and put in my basement for me.
I never thought trains were interesting or cool. Any more interesting or cool than wheelbarrows or, the exit door to a movie theater. It was just another item that existed.
Really?
How about this, Jack? What about those yellow cat? Those really big, like yellow cat construction trucks that were made of metal.
I grew up in a world where my dad had tractors and stuff, and his friends had, I would see construction happen. I saw the real ones.
Like I had a toy tractor that I liked playing with because I saw my grandpa's real tractor. Like you didn't.
Yeah, I didn't get any toys like that.
Oh.
Mostly
they
guns.
didn't give like little 4-year-old Kyle a toy, a little tractor.
I had a 4-year-old. I had the Jeep.
That's a good gift. That's a good gift.
Oh, that's a good gift. So I saw this picture, not the guy in front, but the other two grown men. Those are the kind of people that our fans would say look just like Woody.
Yeah, look at that. Look at Woody riding the. Which one? All of them. They all look just like
They look just like Woody. And I'm like, really?
You know what I love here is this is an old grandpa who just loves trains.
They're like, look, that's Woody and Colin from 8 years ago. That's
his sons are not that sold on the trains. They don't really care. And even the grandkids are kind of like whatever. But they're playing into grandpa's train interest and having a nice family moment. Very sweet.
Who put that fisherman cap on Opie?
They probably were fishing beforehand. Look, they're out. They're great outdoors.
I hope that kid's got sunscreen on.
Yes, he needs it.
You think it's a long route?
Look at the guy in the back. Look at his fucking genetics. They did not fall far. Look at that little man's hairline.
That guy's got the same side profile.
You know what I'm stuck on? Maybe it's just me, but that poor redheaded kid, his calves look like forearms to me. That's just not what humans look like.
He's a little kid. Yeah, he'll grow up. Or he'll get bad calf genetics and he won't. You never know.
I remember talking about a stage in puberty where like I had two crabgrass patches on the side above my dick and it just took a long time to bridge the middle. And Kyle said, Woody talks about a stage of puberty that I have never experienced. Yeah. Like that just didn't have. You guys didn't have that long, slow, drawn out entry.
It's like you started and then stopped again.
Yes,
like,
it was terrible.
You know how you'll have an early spring.
But where I was headed with that was that kid's calves. I never went through that phase. It like 3-year-old Woody didn't have forearms for calves. You were saying, Kyle?
I should just end it now with those calves. Get lay down in front of that train. That's how those old guys kill themselves. They used to lay down on the tracks of their train and then
just
shoot themselves,
banging into their head over and over.
Yeah, because the train won't do it. Yeah.
No, I think that trains is a great hobby for.
Do you really?
No. I would not invest in trains. I think that trains is a great hobby for.
Do you really?
No. I would not invest in trains. You're against the rules. I'm calling brown shirts.